Should you pay off your mortgage early or invest in the stock market? Everyone's situation is different, but in this video I'll explain what I did and my decision may be very surprising. This is not financial advice, I'm just showing you what I've been doing. Please do your own research. I have a fairly ordinary job in the education sector and I have a workplace pension which I've always contributed to, but I still managed to pay my mortgage off on a single income within 10 years. Before I discuss how I achieved this, I need to go back in time to my childhood when I first developed my concept of money and saving. That's a little too far back, let's try again. I'll never forget the day when my father explained what bank interest was. He said that if I kept £1 in the bank for a year, I would get some free money in return. It was at this moment that I realised that money is not just something to spend, but money has the power to make more money. A few years later, when I was a teenager, he said something else which would eventually set me on the road to investing. He told me not just to be a consumer, but to be an owner by buying shares. Liking that coffee? How about owning part of the company? That's an impressive looking beverage. Why not share in the profits of one of the most successful companies in the world? I also learned that shares tend to go up in the long run, but it wasn't until I came across this book as a teenager that I was convinced to start my investing journey as soon as I could. In those days, it wasn't easy to buy shares. You had to use an ancient artifact called a telephone to speak to a human being at the other end. A stockbroker would then quote you the price and execute your order for an astronomical fee. I invested almost solely in UK large cap companies. Some things just never change. I couldn't buy overseas shares and there was no such thing as an exchange traded fund. As a teenager, I did everything I could to make money to invest in this new hobby. I washed cars, swept floors and even worked in McDonald's. And no, the food never got boring. I wasn't investing for any particular reason. There was no target or final destination. I was simply loving the process. It's often said you must pay yourself first each month, but I've never thought about it because my natural behaviour was always to save. Many years later, I decided to buy my first house, but in order to raise enough for the deposit, I had no option but to use all my cash savings and sell all my shares. I took out a 3-year fixed mortgage which gave me peace of mind to begin with, but money was extremely tight. The house was totally unfurnished and I had to save up for everything. After the fixed term was up, I went on to a standard variable rate. After 3 years I now had all the things I needed, and even though I remained in the education sector, my salary increased as the years went by. I now had some money left over each month. The mortgage was still a huge chunk of my wages, but it was my only debt, and there came a point when I decided to attack it head on. I wanted it gone as soon as possible. Many would say it's better financially to invest spare money rather than overpaying the mortgage. This is because the expected gains from the stock market are higher than the interest charged on the mortgage. But despite this, that thought didn't even cross my mind. The feeling of becoming totally debt-free is difficult to put into words, but you feel as if a ball and chain has suddenly been removed from you, giving you a sense of untold freedom. With investing, I only use money that I don't need for any particular purpose. I know that I could potentially lose everything at any time. It could all be gone and I'd still have a mortgage hanging over my head. But overpaying the mortgage was a guaranteed result that nobody could take away. This strategy may have been suboptimal in a financial sense, but to me it was psychologically motivating. Losing £100 has much more of an emotional impact than gaining the same amount. That's just the way our brains are wired. There was always the option of doing both together, but I wanted to fight one battle at a time so I could direct all my energy and determination to achieve this one goal without being distracted by anything else. When I made my first overpayment, the bank sent me a letter giving me two options. Option number one, my monthly payments would now be reduced, but the length of the mortgage would remain the same. Option number two, I could continue paying the same each month and they would reduce the length of the mortgage. Some would say that option two would be financially most beneficial, but I chose option one because I got more satisfaction seeing the monthly payments reduce whenever I made an overpayment. To me, this was psychologically powerful and kept me motivated to continue. I wouldn't overpay every month, however. Instead, I would save up until I had a significant amount and then make one big overpayment and wait in anticipation for the next letter to arrive. I now had more ammunition each month to throw at the mortgage, which lowered the monthly payments even faster. To me, it was compounding in reverse. I couldn't wait to see the next letter from the bank saying my monthly payment requirement had dropped. I felt I was winning a war, and it got easier and easier as time went by. This positive feedback loop kept me motivated in much the same way as it does today with my dividends. I also lived frugally. I rented a room out. I learnt how to fix things when they were broken rather than replacing them. I bought cars second-hand and kept them until they literally fell apart. I went on cheaper domestic holidays rather than expensive ones abroad. I occasionally had a declutter and sold stuff on eBay. I even went to auctions and bought computer equipment, reconditioned them and sold them on for a profit. I don't feel I missed out and still had the experiences that mattered to me. After 10 years, the mortgage was finally paid off and I was totally debt-free. With no mortgage to pay off or any other debt, my spare money each month could now go back into the stock market. And again, I could concentrate all my energy, enthusiasm and resources to one single pursuit. So in 2009, I started my dividend portfolio, which I've been growing ever since. For a more detailed look at my investing journey, click this video here. To see my passive income each month, click here. And to see how I use premium bonds as my emergency fund, then click up here. If you found this video useful, then please hit the like button and consider subscribing. See you in the next video and happy investing.